Okay, hello, gorgeous women. So it's been a while, and I hate that I said that because I don't want it to be, I don't want to bring that pressure. What I'm finding out is timing is everything, and we do not, as women, have to feel pressure to get things done, to do the thing, or to be fast, to be quick, to hurry, to rush through anything. We just really need to allow things to play out the way that they need to play out, and we put ourselves in the moments as needed. I think that's the best way that I can explain it. So I don't want to say it's been a long time. Okay, time has passed, but there has been a lot that has come through, and I'm here when I feel the nudge to actually share something. So I do not know why money has been a big focus for me. I'm not money hungry, but I do want money. And I've learned to love money. And I know, ooh, that is a trigger for some women. But when you are able to posture yourself in a way that is healthy, then desiring money, wanting money, loving money is not a problem. It is actually a good thing. And so I really want to come and talk about that. And I think one of the reasons why it's been a hot topic for me is because growing up, I was taught that if I go to school, make good grades, get my degree, get a good job, then that meant I would be paid well and I would be set for the rest of my life and there will be no more worries. But that has not been the case. It has not been the case for me, and I think the reason why I want to share this is because it hasn't been the case for a lot of women out there. I have adopted the saying or this mindset or this belief. I'll say a belief. I have adopted this belief from my previous coach, and she says, money in the hands of good women is good for the world. And I believe that wholeheartedly. Now that I have a different relationship with money, because yes, it's about a relationship with money. Now that I have a better relationship with money, I understand that so much more. So what has come up, I'll say, has been um, martyrdom, self-sacrificing, the good girl, like all of these, I'll say, identities or aspects of an identity has come up, and we embody them thinking that this is how we need to be as women. But the thing about that, when we embody those aspects, it keeps us small. It keeps us very small, giving more than receiving. Give, give is more important than receiving. I realize that I've been so small, and we're also taught that it's not right to want more. It's not right to want more money, especially because if you do, then you are greedy. And so I've been doing some studying around that, and um, I found out that that type of relationship has not served me for the last 10 years. And so now I'm breaking through those beliefs, and I am feeling different. I am experiencing life differently. And it's not just about money. Um, because I feel like that is what gets us in the door, right? Maybe we have an aversion towards money, so the women that have aversions towards money will not get in the door. But if you secretly desire more, and money is one of those things that will get the woman in the door. But what I found out is it is really your identity that brings in the money. One of the things that brought me closer to understanding what that meant was for a long time, I've always been the type that thought about character, the character of me. Who am I? Building my character. And as long as I remember, I've always been guided towards coaches, life coaches that talked about who you need to be. And that is what we mean when we're talking about identity. Who do you need to be the woman that makes more money, that can hold the money, and that can sustain the money? And so I've tapped into different worlds that I did not know existed when I was growing up, into adulthood, into my career life. What I knew was a woman who could make 5-figure salary in a year. What I've been exposed to are women who make 5 figures in a month and more. And so I'm like, okay, I have, oh God. So that opened me up. It's like, okay, well, what are they doing that I'm not doing? And it's not about what they're doing. The doing comes. It's about who they are being. The women that they are being are different than the woman that I was being. And them being who they are translated into what they do and how they do things. And that was what catapulted them into 5 figures a month. And it doesn't end there. Like, some women are making 7 figures, 8 figures a month. And it's just like, wow. Wow. And these aren't greedy women. These are whole, healthy women like us who have children and families, and they are just being and showing up differently. And so money has been a byproduct of who they are. So I am in the process of launching I'll call it a program for the lack of better words, or just to keep it simple, program called the 10K Woman. And it is all about who you are being. And so old self into transforming into a new woman. I would love for the results to be, you're making 10K a month. That's my goal. But it first starts with, how do you relate to yourself? How do you relate to other people? How do you relate to circumstances? And then you carry that into your business, and then you see the results. Now, I'm suspecting that the women that are in this group are already doing the inner work. The inner work meaning emotional intelligence. You might have even tapped into frequency work, because that's a thing. Emotional, there's a mosquito. I want to make sure I don't get bit, which I've noticed here. This is a fun fact. In my current situation, I'm not getting bit by mosquitoes as much, which is crazy, because I know people who do not, okay, so this is the thing. You can go into a tropical area and there are a bunch of mosquitoes. There are 2 people. One will get bit and one will not. What is the difference? Why? and I've tapped into that. I understand why. But anyways, but it still makes me like, oh, wait a minute. I'm still alert. So, where was I? I've lost my train of thought. Oh my gosh. Anyways, so I'll go back to the identity and who you are being. And so, yeah. So the thing is, when you are a woman of the caliber, this is for me, it's a short-term goal, and I know I want to continue to build. But what really matters is the woman that you are being. And so this container that I am creating is for women who have already done their inner work, who have heard of the word frequency and understand that that is the overall way that you live life, the state of how you are being, and so you've done the emotional intelligence. You're thinking about the frequency. The frequency is like, I live by faith. That's a whole thing. So yeah, there are times where things happen. There are times when you're having a very low period in life, but the thing about it is, it doesn't shape the way you think. It doesn't shape the way you feel. It is just a situation that is happening, and you are pressing forward and pressing through that by faith. And so what is your guiding, someone just said mine, your guiding light, or your guiding principle of life is all is well. I know that this is going to be a moment where I'll look back. There will be a moment where I'll look back on this and it will have passed. I will have made it through. I would have conquered that, and I will have grown from that, and I will keep on going. I will keep on pressing through. So that's one frequency out of a gazillion, million. I'm in a business, so I decided to come to one of the business buildings because it gives me a whole vibe, frequency, and I think they're letting out for lunch, or going back after lunch. What time is it? Let's just see. Yeah, it's lunchtime. Of course, it's lunchtime, so you might hear a lot of noise going on. But there were some nuggets that I wanted to share just in this here, because I am like buzzing with so much knowledge that has come through me, and I wanted to share. Let me see if I have any notes, like, and I'm just like, this is impulse. I was like, okay, I feel something, I want to go talk, and I'm here recording a video for you ladies, and I wanted to share some things, but now that I'm here, it's like, I don't know what to say. I don't really know what to say. So let's just start with money, the relationship with money, because I think that is key. I have done the exercises of writing a letter to money, and I've done so many of those, and I don't think I really connected to the idea of it for it to actually change me until just recently. So I want to talk about, what does that mean when we say, what is your relationship towards money? Because it really does dictate your decisions about bringing in more, whether you keep it, whether you are letting it fly away and don't have any idea where it's going, whether you receive well, whether you are open to spending it, and how does that feel in your body. So there's so many aspects to that, and that is what is meant by what is your relationship towards money. So, but I really think it starts with the belief that you have. So I will share my story, and maybe you can. I feel like you will be able to find yourself in there and be able to expound for yourself when you do your exercise with the prompt. My relationship towards money feels like. That's your prompt. Okay. So, where do I start? So, I will share my what I know. Okay. The way that you can really see your relationship towards money is by looking at your relationship towards yourself and your relationship with others. The one relationship I've definitely looked at myself, but the one that gave me the most insight as to how I relate to money is my relationship that I had with my dad growing up. And then what also gave me insight as to my relationship, my current relationship with money, is my relationship with my ex. So the relationship with my ex showed me how am I being with money right now. My relationship with my dad growing up showed me the root of how I am being with money right now. So both of them have helped me to actually become aware and have actually helped me to heal, or easy way to say it, because sometimes when we think about healing, we think that it is a process, and I've come to learn that it doesn't have to take a long time. Some things you do want to unpack, and you will take time with. Some things you can just change instantly. So another way of saying it is, instead of saying healing, you can say a different way of being. So both of those have allowed me to become aware of the current self and how to be different. Not how to, but how I would want to be different moving forward. And so I am different when I become aware of those two things. Okay? So, my story. I have recently gotten, oh, well, I'm actually in the process. So I'm in the process of getting a divorce. What does that mean? That means that there was a commitment issue. Now, all of this means, okay, I'm putting myself out there, I'm being transparent, but all of this means you do have to be very, very honest with yourself when you look in the mirror and look at your situation. And so my coach actually brought this to my attention. Like, if you are getting a divorce, what is the difference between a divorce and you filing for bankruptcy? These are one and in the same types of energy. There is a commitment issue. There is, and not to say that you need to commit to something that is unhealthy, but there is a reason for you not being able to commit through the hard times, and then let me just say this, there's also, so what I've learned about myself in my relationship to my ex is that I have a fearful, avoidant type relationship. And most of the times, of course, if it's not a secure relationship, which, signals you will stay together through thick and thin, through the hard times, through the good times. is either a fearful avoidant, or disassociative, or DA. I forget what the disorganized attachment style. DA or FA. And so I'm a FA. Somewhat can be, I can, the lines is not really, it's blurry when it comes to, but I think I'm more FA than DA. And my ex was a DA. And so there's a lot of experiences that we had where we would pull away from each other so much. And that kind of relationship translates into the money relationship. When you feel like, so this is a good example. When you feel like, okay, money is in your life, right? You have money. You might not have enough. It might be at zero, but the moments when you're saying you're not enough, you're saying to money, just think about if money was a person and you're saying you're not enough. This is good, but not enough. Or I'm broke. Those are signals that you're sending out to say to money or to the person that shows up for your spouse, your partner, my ex, that okay, thank you, but that's just not enough. And when you say that, think about how that actually feels to the other person. So say if somebody was saying that to you, yeah, you're thank you, but that's just not enough. You're not enough. You would internalize that as like, well, F you. I don't want to be around you if what I give to you is not enough. If what I do for you is not enough, like why would I want to be around you? And if money was a person, that's exactly how money feels. Now, this might be a little bit over the top because what I'm talking about is the energetics of money. I believe that we are energetic beings. Yes, we have this physical body. Yes, we feel solid, but if you just look at the science of an atom, everything inside of the atom vibrates. It moves. It's never fixed, still, or non-motion. Everything has motion. And so we are energetic beings. We are made of atoms, molecules, and everything else in this planet is made of atoms and molecules, and they're building blocks. And so therefore everything moves. How fast it moves is what I would consider how fast it vibrates. If it has, and that's the frequency. If it has a high frequency, meaning it moves pretty fast, that means it is positive, high vibration, feel good. And if it moves slow, that means it's very solid, it's very dense. Emotions can be dense, like sadness, depression, grief. Those are slow moving emotions. And that's why many times you don't want to get up and do anything. You're not motivated because those are the more denser emotions. Everything has a vibration to it, even your thoughts. So then when you think about thoughts, it's like, well, you can't touch it, it's not tangible. I like to look at those as being in the spiritual realm. So things that we cannot see, I believe there are things that exist that we cannot see. Why do I believe that? Because if you think about colors, or if you think about, colors, the reason why we can see color is because it's at a wavelength that our eye can detect. But there are different wavelengths that we cannot see. we cannot hear. We have no um I'll just say no way of tapping into it. Or do we? I do believe in intuition. I do believe that we do have a connection to the higher power, and so to God, and so we can. But some things we are not attuned to because we can't see it, touch it, taste it, feel it with our senses, or hear it with our senses. For example, dogs have the ability to hear high, very high pitched sounds. And what that means is it's a higher frequency. It's moving faster. We cannot hear it, but a dog can. Does it exist? Yes, it does exist. It just exists out of our own, I want to say sight, out of our own vision, out of our own range. So we cannot experience it. But it doesn't mean just because we don't experience it, it doesn't exist. So it does exist, right? So, anyways, so where do I want to go with that? Where was I going with that? Where was I before that? So we're talking about frequencies, right? But I was just saying that money is energetic. So the energy of money, there is the energetics of money. So when we are saying that we don't want, when we're saying, excuse me, when we're saying that you're not enough, thank you, but you're not enough, we're really saying we don't want you then. We don't want you. And so when I experienced, or when I came into the knowledge of, oh wait, divorce is in the same energy as bankruptcy, it just made so much sense because I had got to a place of, and that's why many people are probably connecting divorces to finances. Oh, finances made them get a divorce. But for me, it wasn't finances that got us a divorce. Although we were struggling, we were darn near close to filing bankruptcy. I know that it had all to do with the way I was relating to myself and the way that I believed, the things that I believed about life, the things that I believed about relating to life, and life includes people. And so I wasn't healthy. I didn't have a healthy view of myself, a healthy view of life overall, and therefore I don't have a healthy view of relating to people, relating to money, relating to circumstances, relating to trying to create a business, relating to confidence, relating to being visible, relating to it's all interconnected. It's totally all interconnected. So that's what happened. For 10 years, I was unable to accomplish my own personal income. 13 years. 13 years. 13 years because I was laid off in 2013, and it's 2026 where I am finally able to relate to money in a healthy way. So where did that all come from? That came from my conditioning growing up. How was I raised? How was I? What was my environment like? What was the treatment like? And what came up for me was my whole attachment style came from my childhood experiences and home environment. And so my dad and my mom were divorced when I was 4 years old. I have 2 older brothers and I'm the only girl. My dad got custody of me and my brothers, and the way that my mom tells the story is that she's Filipina in America, don't know how to speak a lick of English at the time, and so her concern was how would she be able to support us financially if she's unable to get a job and speak, if she's unable to speak English and get a job. So my dad got custody, full custody of us, and we were raised by him. But at the same time, he was not in the most healthy condition because he was an alcoholic. And I remember, I don't know, I was 4. I don't think he became clean until high school. So 15. So from 4 to 15, it was 10, 11 years of being conditioned under a home, a single parent, a father, raising a girl who was an alcoholic. And then the last 4 of those years, my brothers moved out. So I was really an only child for a while. They were older than me as well, so I really did feel like I was an only child because they were in high school when I was in elementary, and so they were at least 8 years older than me. So I felt like an only child, and what it felt like in the house on a daily basis was I felt alone, I felt unseen. I had to learn how to manage my own emotions. I had to learn how to take care of myself. I had to learn how to find food. Although my grandmother would cook for us on one meal a day, there was breakfast and lunch that I had to figure out if I wasn't at school. But even at school, I had to, some days I don't know why the teachers would do this, but some days I would just eat snacks because my dad didn't pay for lunch for me to actually eat. So I would go to school hungry, eat snacks, and then for dinner I would be able to eat. But then there were times where my brothers wouldn't fix my plate, so I would be sitting there watching them eat food. And when my grandmother, who was older, would find out, that she would be able to come into the kitchen to make me a plate. So food was a big deal. Food is still a big deal in my life. It's just like, sometimes I get to a point to where I forget to eat. And I'm working through something with that as well. A health issue because of that. But either way, I learned how with the unpredictable environment, I learned that there were times where I would be taken care of, and there would be times where I wouldn't be taken care of, and I would have to pull together whatever resources I knew how to pull together in order for me to get what I need. And just imagine what I felt about myself. I'm not probably. I had low self-esteem. I didn't think I cared. I didn't think I was cared. I didn't think people cared about me. It's like, how do you say that? I didn't think people cared about me. I didn't think I cared to people. I stayed small. I stayed as burden less as possible. When people asked if I wanted something, I'll say, nope, I'm good. I would do everything for myself, and never to lean on anyone. And if I ever leaned on someone, then I was dying hard about paying them back, however that looked, like whether it was giving the money back or repaying them by some type of service. And so this is huge. If you can relate to any of what I just said, that right there is the first step of really changing your money story. because what I found out is this ties into how I show up, if I show up, how I receive, in what posture I am when I receive. If you're not able to receive, that is going to cripple your business. Or if you haven't started a business, that will cripple your dreams and you will never start, ever. And that has been the biggest aha for me, because receiving, if you receive well, then what will have to go away is sacrificing. What will also have to go away is the good girl. What will also have to go away is not resting. So go, 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 go. The hustle in you, all of that and more has to go away. And I talk about that in my program, the 10K Woman. This is how you go from making a couple of $1,000s to actually being able to breathe, relax, and see a new level of money come into your life. Also in the 10K Woman program, I'm teaching how to actually hold it. So one thing that I noticed about myself, my old self, was when I got it, I was quick to spend it. And there was times where I had no idea where it went. It wasn't in luxury bags because I knew better. That's a whole nother thing. Another topic is being responsible. How does being responsible keep you very, very small? That is so tricky. So, but yeah, there was a time where I didn't know where the money went. I didn't know what I was spending it on. One thing that I got insight on was bulk spending on bulk. There was something in me that felt like I had to get it all and get it all right now, or else things would fall apart. I wouldn't have enough. I might not get this opportunity again. Those feelings kept me letting it go and fly away. And so when I became aware of that, things changed. I'm able to hold it longer. I'm able to sit with the money and not spend it. And if I spend it, there's a way to spend it. You just don't spend it, but you spend it. So all of that comes in to play in this new container that I'm building, the 10K Woman. I want women. So again, I'll go back to that, what I said. Money in the hands of good women is good for the women. It's good for the world. I'll say it again. Money in the hands of good women is good for the world. And I want that. Why is it good for the world? Because we are building legacies. We have children that we want to grow up in a certain way. We want them to go to certain schools. We want them to have certain activities. We want them to be a certain way. different than what we were, different than what our parents were, different than what the neighborhood kids are. Not judging, but just saying. We have this vision. We know what we want for our kids, but the resources are limited. So that limits us. But we are a different woman. We know we are. We feel it in our bones. There's something different about us. But for some reason, we just cannot get the money thing. And so, I want to teach women how. This is not about a strategy. Let me just say that. It's not about a strategy. It's not a strategy. It's not, I got this business idea and I want to build it. It's not that. Actually, let me rephrase it. I want to teach women who. Who do they need to be in all areas of their life in order to be that woman. That woman who knows how to make, who knows how to hold, and who knows how to sustain $10,000 a month. And that's it. That's it. And so you'll know if this is for you. If it is, DM me directly, because we will start very, very soon. Actually, it's going to be February 14th. This is the anniversary, my anniversary of the day that I invested in myself. A large lump sum of money. I took a whole year to work on myself, to build this woman, to build the identity of a woman who knows how to make money for herself and take care of her children, taking care of everything, holding all the things without collapsing into like the victim or collapsing into her emotions and collapsing into her self-doubt, her disbelief of being able to show up for herself. And so this program is launching February 14th, and it's for a very particular woman, a woman who has done her inner work, who believes in herself, who's ready, who has that knowing she is ready. She's not looking for a strategy. She's not looking for the next strategy. I've been there, but she knows that there's something in her ready for more, ready for big, and she's ready to take action on it. She's ready to make the bold steps. So again, if this is for you, you feel it in your body, you've listened to what I said and it resonates with you, DM me. I'll send you the information on how you can get ready and what the investment will be for you. All right, ladies, thank you for listening. I hope this helps you if you're not even if you're not ready, but it helps you actually, it's planted a seed and it helps you to start moving towards the 10K woman. All right, I love you so much, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.